Good evening, and welcome to episode 3 of New Podcast Plus. It is Culture of Gaming's one and only Nintendo podcast. So today we've got some great guests. We got John Hansen back from last week.
Hey.
We got Aiden Simmons.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
Can't hear you, Aiden.
Seems his microphone is muted.
Can you hear me now?
There we go.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay, I don't know why, I really bad. My microphone technology hates me, evidently. But yeah, it's me. Hello, thanks for having me.
Thank you for coming on. And then we've got, in his first Culture of Gaming podcast, Mike. I didn't ask how to pronounce his last name.
It's Zoke.
Zoke, okay.
Yeah, what's up?
Kind of like Snoke, right?
Yep.
My favorite, personal favorite Star Wars character. Very well developed, and we know a lot about him. It's great.
Oh yeah, very fleshed out.
Yeah, I'm sure he's going to be going for a long time.
Oh yeah, We're never gonna get rid of him.
No.
Absolutely. All right, so we've got that, and we've got some great social media pages as well. We've got Facebook and Twitter, and we have YouTube and Twitch. On the first two, Facebook and Twitter, you can find us at cog.net, and then YouTube and Twitch, just go ahead and search Culture of Gaming. On YouTube, we're getting awfully close to that 100 subscriber mark, so we'll actually be able to get a name instead of just a string of numbers and characters and letters. So it'll be much easier to find us then, hopefully.
Yes.
All right, so now that we have the boring stuff out of the way, we can get into the news for the week. First story on the docket we've got from Cappuccino Heck. What a great name on Twitter. They claimed that they went through and data mined some stuff on the Switch, and they found a list of 20-something Super Nintendo games that are supposedly going to be joining the NES Online portion of the internet dealio that you got with Nintendo Switch, the online service. And that list is Super Mario Kart, Super Soccer, Legend of Zelda Link to the Past, Demon's Crest, Yoshi's Island, Stunt Race FX, Kirby's Dream Course, Pop-In Twin B, Star Fox, Contra 3, Kirby Superstar, Super Ghouls and Ghosts, Kirby's Dream Land 3, Super Metroid, also known as the best game of all time, Super Mario World, Pilot Wings, F-Zero, Star Fox, in parentheses, LOL, Super Punch-Out, Legend...
Star Fox 2.
Star Fox 2, yeah, sorry. Parentheses, LOL. The Legend of Mystical Ninja, Super Mario All-Stars. Oh, weird choice. And Breath of Fire 2. So what do you guys think about this list, and what are you looking forward to if this is real?
I think it's too good for it to all come out at once, at least.
Sure.
You've got a lot of really big names. You have 3 Kirby games alone on this list. So for it all to come out at once kind of seems realistic. So the rumor that it would be launching with 5 would make a lot more sense if this is true.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen with the NES, like, Nintendo certainly taking their time.
Yeah.
Bringing out those games. Like, we're only getting 2 this month, so I definitely don't think we'll see all. I mean, who knows? I mean, just like, we don't even know if these games are like they actually plan to put these games on there. Just be like, oh, we just want to see what we can put on there. But there are some surprising like omissions. Like, I'm surprised like Earthbound's not on that list.
Yeah.
Because they've been doing that. Like, they've been putting that everywhere. Super Mario RPG, like a personal favorite of mine. But I mean, like, for the most part, there's some like kind of these are the obvious picks for a Super Nintendo system. So like, there's nothing like not surprised or like any feelings about it. Like, I'm just like, yeah, that's about what I expected.
Yeah, I mean, the NES games launched with 20 right at the beginning, so I don't see all 22 of these coming out right at the beginning, but I could see 10 maybe if they do. if this is even real.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, again, most of these also were just put on the SNES Classic, so it's not like they're doing a lot of work
Right.
here. I mean, the most work is going to be setting up the online components of them all.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I mean, they've been porting these games forever now, so
Yeah, the weirdest. I was just gonna say the weirdest game on there, really, to me at least, is the Super Mario All Stars because they already have pretty much all of those games either on that list or in the NES release. There are just a couple here and there, like Lost Levels, and that might be, is Super Mario Bros. 2 on there?
I don't
no,
think.
it's 3, but it's like kind of a remaster of it.
Right. Yeah. So they pretty much already have everything at that point released. They're just re-releasing it with different visuals, I guess.
I mean, hey, if you grew up playing it on Super Nintendo as opposed to the original version,
Sure.
there you go.
But yeah, I mean, and some people may not want to download the NES app. They just want the SNES. So you never know.
Who knows if they'll be
Didn't
separate?
Yeah. Didn't they, like, when they first talked about their whole Nintendo Online, didn't they like mention Super Mario Kart, like, and talk about like online multiplayer? Am I like just remembering weirdly?
I don't remember anything about
I don't
that.
remember that either.
I don't know. I
Maybe
feel
you were
like-
thinking about Mario Kart 8. Something about
I don't know.
that.
I feel like
Um,
I feel like I heard that somewhere. Like they were considering at first like NES and SNES games at first,
Yeah.
but I don't know.
Yeah,
I mean,
it also. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say, like, I'm kind of not surprised at this because, like, I mean, if the timing up, because they did say they're gonna end production on the NES and SNES Classic
It's true.
soon, so like it kind of like would line up because they probably don't want to have these games available on the Switch if they want to sell this product and make more money off of it. So I mean, I could definitely see that happening with the timings, like, kind of.
Yeah, I don't know about that because it's all on the subscription thing. They're not individually selling them
Yeah.
like they have in the past. So that's the one difference where I'm like, I don't really know if they really care about the SNES because it's still selling well. I work over
Oh,
at
yeah.
GameStop and
Mhm.
I've been selling them like crazy still.
Yeah.
It's it doesn't surprise me at all that these are coming out. I mean, it's Nintendo. They've always been super big into bringing back their older games. The ones I'm looking forward to are if we ever see the Nintendo 64 and the GameCube games on here, because there's been tons of rumors that
Oh yeah.
the Switch could play GameCube games if
If
it
they
needed
added
to.
GameCube games, I'd probably die of happiness.
Yeah, like just throwing Mario Sunshine on there. And
Give me
the
Mario
original
Sunshine. Give me Wind Waker. Just
Maybe-
give
Maybe
me all.
that's why they never did remake Luigi's Mansion for the Switch, and they only did it for the 3DS because that is planned to be coming out in the future.
I would be
or just
perfectly
playing the
fine with
original
that.
version. Yeah,
Mhm.
that'd be awesome.
Then it makes you wonder if they'd also maybe increase the price or the cost, I should say, of the online service just because they're offering a wider library of games versus just NES titles.
I hope not.
Yeah.
Because the service already is kind of crap.
Yeah, especially for Smash Bros, the online isn't fantastic. It could
And then
be
they
Yeah,
keep
much
talking about
better.
how we're gonna get these exclusive deals for having the online service, but we haven't heard anything about those online deals since
There's
they
been-
announced it.
Unless they're
There's
talking
been a
about the
few.
controllers.
There's been also
Yeah,
a few
there's
pieces
better
of
controllers.
clothing for Splatoon 2 besides the controllers, but yeah.
All right, I take everything I said back.
Come on,
That
guys.
just sold me.
All right, so who knows what Nintendo's gonna do, but I'm sure that it'll be fine. They'll have some SNES games on there eventually at some point.
Oh yeah.
They'll survive. People will buy it anyway.
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah.
So next piece of news we got here comes from Games Done Quick's Twitter account. So it came to a close last night with Super Metroid, which is, like I said before, the best game of all time. And at the end, they raised a total of $2,394,668 for the Prevent Cancer Foundation. And then Summer Games Done Quick is coming up right next to my hometown in Bloomington, Minnesota. And luckily, it's going to be in June this year instead of July, because it kept falling over July 4th the last couple of years, and it's like, I'm not going to be able to do anything
Good
here.
timing for the.
Yeah, not necessarily Nintendo news, but there are a lot of Nintendo speed runs that happen there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, good stuff, raising a lot of money.
For a good
cause too.
Absolutely. Okay, and a fun little piece from Nintendo Everything here from Brian, with no last name.
Just Brian.
Just Brian. So it's a list of the top 21 most played games on Nintendo Switch in Europe over the last year. The list is from 21 to number 1, Mario Tennis Aces, Super Mario Party Paladins, Smash Bros. Ultimate, Octopath Traveler, Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2, Stardew Valley, Pokemon Quest, Mario and Rabbids Kingdom Battle, Rocket League, Skyrim, Xenoblade Chronicles 2, Pokemon Let's Go Eevee and Let's Go Pikachu, Minecraft, FIFA 19, Mario Kart 8, Splatoon 2, Mario Odyssey, Breath of the Wild, and number 1 is the greatest game, or I should say second greatest game of all time, Fortnite. So, what do you guys think about Fortnite? You love it, right?
I like
I don't
it. I'm a
personally
Fortnite
enjoy it.
defender.
But I do. I really respect Epic Games. They've, them
Absolutely.
releasing their cross-platform for free is really cool. They're a really good dev when it comes to giving the community what they want. They're always adding free content. So they do bad stuff too, but like all devs generally. Yeah, all companies. They all.
Yeah. I think I read somewhere like that, like half of all Switch owners have Fortnite on there. At least if you have it
I did read
downloaded,
that.
like not
It's me.
played.
I haven't downloaded. Yeah, I
Yeah,
downloaded
so, like, I
it.
mean-
I'll admit that I've
Yeah.
downloaded it 3 separate times.
Yeah, I mean it's free, so like I'm not surprised at that. But like I mean, it just
Right.
I'm not surprised at seeing this either. Like I mean, Fortnite is a phenomenon and sensation. Like I'm not really surprised.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think I'm more surprised that Paladins is so high up on this.
Yeah.
That's really my surprise.
That
That's
is
like
Yeah.
my big takeaway.
The most surprising thing to me was that Smash Bros was still so low, even
Yeah.
though I understand it came out in December.
I still think that's
Yeah.
impressive because it was out for less than a month in 2018, and it's still
That's true,
Yeah.
actually.
Yes.
Yeah, this is
It's the
probably a
same with
culmination.
Pokemon. Pokemon was only out for like a month and a half, and I mean it's it's places 8 and 9 on the list.
Yeah.
There's
Mhm.
games here that have been out for over a year that are lower than that.
And yeah, they don't really specify what metric they're going by. I imagine it has to be by playtime.
Yeah,
But,
it's most
yeah.
likely hours.
Mhm.
Yeah.
They don't say
Even
specifically.
then, that would be
but-
kind of hazy because most of the technology tracks it by every 5 hours.
Mm-hmm.
Mm. Yeah, that's one of the things with the Switch. I kind of wish that they had, because they had it back with the Wii U and 3DS, where it
Yeah.
tracks your exact time instead of just an
now the only
estimate.
time you get it is if the game actually offers an exact play
Yeah.
time in it.
Yeah, like Breath of the Wild is always gonna say like more than 100 hours or more than
Yeah.
200 hours.
I'm like, I want
But-
to know exactly.
Yeah,
But-
how much time I wasted. No, not wasted, but
I do find it interesting how like most besides Fortnite, all the top 5 are games that released last year. That is fairly interesting because
yeah.
I mean I know there's that whole crazy stat where there was more copies of Breath of the Wild than Switches sold. So like that, I mean I'm not like it's like if you have a Switch you've played that game, but still like it's kind of like just surprising like that people are still playing so much of these games like a year after. I mean
yeah.
there weren't a ton of releases for the Switch in 2018, like there were obviously, but so
Mhm.
I kind of didn't see it.
Yeah, there's ridiculous amount of stuff to do in both Odyssey and Breath of the Wild, so it definitely makes sense. And of course, Fortnite. And then our last bit of news we got here for the week is that there's finally a release date for Yoshi's Crafted World, a light at the end of the tunnel. After it just wasn't at E3 and then got pushed back to 2019. So Yoshi's Crafted World will finally be coming out to Nintendo Switch on March 29th. A little smaller news for the 3DS was that Kirby's Epic Yarn is coming out on March 8th. I never played Epic Yarn on the Wii, but I'm sure that's fun.
I've heard good things about it.
Good.
But
Yeah.
I'm definitely looking forward to Yoshi more than Kirby.
I'm so excited
I mean,
for
that's
Yoshi's
fair.
Crafted World.
Hmm.
So excited.
It is kind of weird how like they kind of stole the crafty look from Kirby like to Yoshi. Like Kirby originally had like the whole yarn look, but then Yoshi's like, no, this is mine. But
And then Yoshi
mean-
actually has that yarn skin in Smash Bros.
oh, that's
Yeah.
such a good skin.
Mhm.
I mean, this game looks good. Like I'm really excited for it. It looks really like interesting, like art wise and like design wise. And I'm
It
just
just
like,
looks so fun.
yeah, it
So
looks
So
like
cute.
Yoshi
I'm
games are always
so
just
hyped.
fun.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's if you had to describe them in one word, it'd just be fun.
Yeah.
Might not have the most substance, but you're gonna enjoy your time.
I
on
would
the
say
boat.
cute.
Yeah, cute too.
Kawaii.
They're just like,
Especially, Yoshi's Island and stuff.
oh my god. They're just like happiness.
They're just just happy.
All right. John, are you planning on picking up Crafted World?
Oh yeah. As soon as it becomes available in the eShop, I'll be grabbing it.
Oh, yeah.
I've been pretty excited for it. They revealed this like the same. It was the exact same day as Kirby Star Allies, so
Yeah.
it's coming out pretty much a year
Sure.
later than Star Allies. I believe Star
Yeah.
Allies was in March
It was
of last
March,
year.
yeah.
Yeah.
I really am predicting that it's going to be something a lot like that game in terms of just easiness and everything. I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yoshi games aren't too difficult or anything,
No.
but
Mhm.
you know what you're getting into with it, and it does exactly what it is supposed to do. Just give you a fun time during it.
Absolutely. All right. Now we got all the news out of the way. We can head on to the best part, the meat of the podcast, or the vegetables if you're a vegetarian. And that's our top 5 lists for what we're looking forward to in 2019 for Nintendo. So that covers the Switch, 3DS, and potentially mobile games. But hey, let's be honest, it's really just Switch.
I think it is.
But what about the next Just Dance game that comes out on the original Wii?
Okay, yeah.
Honestly, like that's a power move that they keep releasing on the Wii.
I love it. It makes me so happy to see that still coming out for the Wii. I walked into Target one day and I saw that and I was like, I almost want to get it just to have it.
I think it was, if any of you guys watched Kind of Funny, I think it was Jared Petty who predicted that it finally won't come out this year on the Wii, and then it did.
That is okay. Good. I was gonna say it didn't.
Oh no, yeah, no, that like when they announced it at E3 and it had the Wii logo on it, I was like, yes. It's probably gonna like they're probably gonna release it on the Wii, like even when they stop releasing it on the Wii U.
Well, they have no
Yeah.
reason to, because if you head into like an old folks' home or anything
yeah.
like that, there's always just a Wii sitting there in the
There's
TV.
always the Wii.
There's always a Wii.
So what happens when they die? Maybe they'll move on to the Wii U. I don't mean the people, I mean the consoles,
No.
by the
Oh
way.
my god.
Uh-huh, I'm sure. Now they'll just buy another Wii. I mean,
I mean,
they're still
the Switch
selling
is-
like crazy.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you can still get I feel like a Switch is kind of taking up that mantle.
So I'm sorry, we kind of just spoiled all of our number ones. Is Just Dance for the Wii.
Just Dance
Oh, yeah.
2020.
Just, oh my god, oh god, that's gonna be Just Dance 2020.
What a time to be alive. All right. So I'll actually start out my list now. And my number 5 game that I'm looking forward to in 2019 is Pokemon 8th Generation. I mean, as of right now, we know nothing about it, but it's still just interested to see which direction they go mostly. Of course, the new designs will always be nice to see whenever that comes up, but just with how whatever the Let's Go games,
Let's go.
yeah, who knows what they are anymore. Just with the way, no, I liked them, but just with the reaction to those and culture, not culture of gaming, Creatures Inc. or Game Freak seeing that reaction to the Go games or Let's Go games, how they'll respond with just like the type of Pokemon game that they release this year. It'll be interesting to see.
Yeah.
Okay, and Aiden, what's your number 5?
Oh, I didn't know this was the way we're going. Okay. My number 5 is kind of a cheat, but whatever. I put all the Final Fantasy games. Well, not every single one.
1 through 15.
Crystal Chronicles was fun and stuff, but I'm talking about like the mainline games like 7, 9, 10, and 12. Yep. I'm just really excited. I'm a huge Final Fantasy and RPG guy, and 7 those are 9, 10, and 12 are some of my favorites in the series. I like 7 too, so I'm really excited to just play them on the go and have them on a portable system, which we never had. Technically, we don't know when 7 and 9 are coming out yet, but obviously they're coming in 2019, and hopefully this means more Final Fantasy games will come on the Switch. I hope we get 1 through 6 soon, and 13. But I'm just excited because the Switch is my new favorite RPG system because it's just nice to sit on the couch or in the car or on a commute and just grind through an RPG. So I'm really excited for those, and I'm my wallet and free time isn't, but I'm excited to play all of them.
I would be interested to see if they could actually release 14 on the Switch. I'm not sure. I've never played it before. But
they haven't released it even on Xbox yet, so I feel like they wouldn't at this point. But
sure.
You never know. Square is a weird company.
That's for sure. Yeah,
if anything, I could
say,
definitely see 1 through 6, especially with the NES and SNES thing we were talking about earlier.
Yeah.
Nintendo just has to get Square's permission on that, and there you go.
That's probably the hardest part. Square is probably we can make money on this.
But Square has been working a lot closer with Nintendo lately.
Yeah.
For sure.
Even though they still only have the 2 Final Fantasy songs in Smash Bros, but
yeah, for some reason.
Square's never been the biggest fan of the Virtual Console, so
yeah, it's weird. Odd choices. All right.
Make 2 new IPs for you, Nintendo, but only gonna get 2 songs in Smash Bros. That's it.
Yeah. All right, John, what do you got for your number 5?
My number 5 is the new Animal Crossing. This one, again, we don't really know much about, but it's Animal Crossing. It's not really going to surprise us much, is it?
No.
I've never really gotten too deep into Animal Crossing in the past. I bought New Leaf for my daughter on her DS, and I kind of helped her through that and everything. Just a simple game, really. So this is really on there because we don't know everything that Nintendo is bringing out yet. If we get something like Super Mario Maker or something like that, which I really think we will, that would definitely be on my list, and it would bump this off. But for the moment, I'll say Animal Crossing.
Amiibo Festival too.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
All those Animal Crossing amiibo that just are forever in the clearance rack.
Yeah. I got that 3-pack. I don't remember who was in it, but
it was the 2 lambs. I'm not.
Yeah.
I don't know all the other characters.
I got it for $3 on clearance once.
My friend bought 11 versions of the Tom Nook amiibo.
Oh my god!
Just as how much he loves Tom Nook.
All right.
I hope he has a shrine to him. That would be neat.
Oh.
Well, he still has to pay off the debt.
Oh, of course, yeah.
Yes.
All right, Mike, what do you got for your number 5?
I've got Yoshi's Crafted World. I'm just really excited for the game. It looks like a lot of fun, a lot of cuteness, all wrapped up into one big bundle. And they have yet to really disappoint me with any games so far on the Switch that Nintendo themselves have developed and published. Their main properties have yet to disappoint me. So I'm excited because I haven't played a Yoshi game since the Yoshi Island that was on the DS. So it's been a long time I've touched Yoshi, but a really fun way to get back into the franchise that I loved so much when I was a kid.
Awesome. Yeah, it's definitely looking like a great game, and find some people to play it with. You can do 2-player in there and all that fun stuff. So
It's
cute.
the only Nintendo exclusive, like Nintendo developed game for 2019 we actually have seen footage of. Right? No, we've seen Fire Emblem, but it's the only one that we have a date for.
Yeah.
Oh, we've seen Luigi's Mansion 3.
Yeah,
Okay.
a little.
That was like a second.
Yeah.
But
Everyone
the only one
was
we
like,
actually know when it's coming.
yeah, I feel like everyone was thinking it was just the like footage of the 3DS re-release of
Yeah.
the original game.
I mean, in all
Everyone
honesty, that's what I
talked
thought
about
it
They were all
was.
like, nah.
hmm
All right. Excuse me. My number 4. So I'm kind of interested to see how this game turns out because Fallout 76 and Bethesda, not the greatest reception recently of that company. And even though it's technically developed by a different company, id, Doom Eternal is definitely looking to be something that will hopefully remove everyone's memories of Fallout 76 and get Bethesda back on track. But yeah, the biggest thing that I'm looking forward to with Doom Eternal is just that I think it's the first like really big AAA game that's going to be releasing day and date with the other consoles.
Well, we're
Oh.
we're getting the one I have on, not yet, but like there's a game that on my list that
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that's coming in like
Oh yeah.
like mid
Mhm.
like beginning of 2019. So, but also
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah, it'll just be interesting to see
yeah.
that they're releasing it at the same time, and it's
Oh
gonna
yeah, no,
it's bizarre.
that's
So
pretty,
they'll
like,
make
that
it
is
work
wild.
somehow, I'm sure.
I mean, they made the first one work, kind of, but like it functions.
Yeah, and it's not. I mean, Doom definitely looks fantastic, but it doesn't require just ridiculous hardware to run and look good and be playable, at least.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah. Doom Eternal's a game that I really thought about putting on my list, but my thing is that I want to play it on my Xbox, and so it's
Sure.
not something I really plan on playing on my Switch. I really love that it's coming to the Switch,
Yeah.
so that if I
Mhm.
ever plan to, I could just buy it again on there and really enjoy it. Because I love Doom 2016, and Eternal just looks like it's just expanding on everything that game was. So I'm super excited for it. More excited to play it on my Xbox One X.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For me, like Doom is a game like where I want to watch like all the stuff happening like at once. Like I really want to like take myself in and all like the action, everything, my surroundings, and like I want to do it on a TV. Like I said, yeah, like you said, I'm happy that it's on the Switch and like it's day and date and like it seems to be on par with whatever. I mean the other versions, but like it's just not my preferred choice of playing it.
Mhm.
But I'm still like so excited for it.
I'm honestly probably going to be playing it on PC, but it looks like a fun game, and can't wait to see how it actually works on Switch. Aiden, what do you got for number 4?
I had what was John's number 5, Animal Crossing. Animal Crossing is like I didn't really get into it until New Leaf on the 3DS, and like pretty much everyone who played it, I got really into it, and I'm really excited to see like what direction they go in with the Switch. If it's gonna be, I mean, it's gonna be more the same Animal Crossing that we know, but I wonder at like how they're gonna use this, like how they're gonna use the Switch's like hardware to kind of push it in a new direction, because like we've kind of seen that with Mario and Zelda and like some of the other franchises, like they've kind of like been in new directions on the Switch. So I really want to see them like push it further and like into a new direction. And like I said, we don't know anything about it. I feel like it's gonna be like a release that I feel like when they announce the release date, it's gonna be like a lot closer than we feel like, because Animal Crossing is like the perfect summer game.
Yes.
So I think it's like gonna come in the next. I think it's actually gonna come in like the next few months. So I'm just really excited to see like what happens and what comes, like what this game, like what they do with this game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was thinking about that because like as far as what they can actually do to the game, just because it's so simplistic looking in the
Yeah.
first place, I feel like there's only so much they can do. But
Yeah.
it'll
What
be
if
neat to
they
see.
like made it like kind of a Sims game?
I feel like that kind of takes, because I feel like a lot of the appeal of the game is how simple it is.
Mm-hmm.
Like and like how like you can pretty much just jump in and just like you can kind of do the Sims. You kind of just jump in, like walk around your town for a little bit, like collect, like earn some money, earn some bells or something, and just like go on from there. So I don't think we're gonna change I don't think they're gonna change like the core foundation of it, but I want this to see like more in the presentation of like this game. Like
Sure.
I don't want them like to be like super realistic, but like I think with the new hardware they can really change up the style of the game.
So you don't want
Or
all
just make
the
the sound bigger.
you don't want all the people to look like the humans in New Donk City.
No.
No, no one wants that.
Although I would take a New Donk City spin-off. But I mean, yeah, I'm just excited to see like what they do with the Switch and Animal Crossing, because it's the
Sure.
first console Animal Crossing technically that we've gotten since the Wii, so it's been a
Mhm.
little bit.
Yep, that's for sure. It's going to be exciting. I don't want to say too much because I might be talking about this game too. All right, John, what do you got for number 4?
My number 4 is Yoshi's Crafted World. I mean, I'm pretty sure we're all talking about this. We're all excited for it. It's the next big Nintendo release, right? I
Yes.
don't think there's anything else
Yeah.
coming.
No, maybe it was Mario, and unless they just throw something in February, which they're
So yeah,
Yeah.
Mario, and then there's sort of No More Heroes, but that's kind of more like a AA type release.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, Yoshi's Crafted World looks great for what it is. Like I said earlier, we know what it is. It looks cool that you can play going to the right and then to the left. I mean, it's another cooperative game, which I always love. I love playing co-op. So, yeah, I'm just happy to finally know that it's coming out. Though them really saying that it's coming out in March on Twitter kind of dampens my mood that they're going to have a direct this month. They'll probably push it towards February or something. But,
Yeah.
Yeah, that
It's
would be fine. Yeah,
I think that was everyone's reaction.
hmm
I mean, Twitter directs are fine
I mean, that they really went hard on Twitter that like
Yeah.
the past couple days.
for some reason.
It was like, here you go.
Yeah. All right. So, Mike, what do you got for your number 4?
My number 4 is Untied Goose Game. It's a little indie coming out this year, and pretty much you're a goose, and you run around and you piss people off. Yeah,
Yes.
steal the gardener's water bucket. You go and you knock stuff off of stands and like get. You're just a goose and you run around and you're just very rude to all kinds of people. It's ridiculous.
Steal those
It's
sandwiches.
fun. I love the art style that it uses. I am so unbelievably excited for this game. It will be on a day one buy for me, and I will probably put a ridiculous amount of hours into this game, just doing the same things. Like I'll probably just do the exact same thing 100 times and just watch reactions and laugh because I have an outlet to be rude to people.
Were you a fan of Goat Simulator?
I was a fan of Goat Simulator. It was a fun time as well. I didn't get to do a lot of the really crazy expansions that they had. Like there's one that like out in like space or something with it.
Yeah.
They did a lot of stuff with it. I just played the base one. It was free on Xbox at one point. I grabbed that. I probably put 100 hours into it.
All right.
Fun time.
No, that game looks incredible, and I honestly I'm ashamed because I actually forgot it was coming out in 2019, but I think it's gonna be one of those indie games that kind of just becomes a sensation, and like everyone is gonna be talking about it. It just looks like who would think of that as an idea? Like
Yeah.
you're a goose and you're mean to people. Like I can't.
Some
it's definitely
genius.
different. It's definitely something that's going to make them stand out. And I mean,
Mhm.
I haven't looked into it too much. I've only seen a couple things on it, but
Yeah. Well, they
it
haven't
seems
released
like
too
so
much.
far people are really, I mean, excited for it. I mean, about as excited as you can get for an indie game, right? So
Yeah.
good for them.
I know, like they showed it off when I was at PAX West, and like there was a Nintendo. It was in the Nintendo like booth area, so they're definitely putting their weight behind this game.
Hmm.
But the line was it was pretty long to play this game. So I think I think people just wanted to see what it is and what it could this possibly be. But no, I'm excited for it just because there's literally nothing like it. Like there's literally nothing like this game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's gonna be a fun thing to try out for a little while. All right, so now we're on to number 3, and it's an indie game that was supposed to come out last year, but got pushed to 2019, and that's Killer Queen Black. So if you're not familiar with Killer Queen, it's this, at least in the arcade, it was 5-on-5 kind of platforming game. If you've ever played Joust, it's similar to that. I thought I heard a cat. So what you do is you play as these bees that either collect little pollen balls for the hive, or they can become these warriors and try to kill the other team's queen. And you control one player controls the queen. The queen can't collect anything to return to the hive, but it can just kill the other team's warriors and the other team's queen as well. So it's pretty much like I want to say a MOBA, but not quite like that. But yeah, there are 3 different ways that you can actually win a battle in that game. That's through killing the other team's queen 3 times, collecting enough of the pollen for your hive, or the best one is the snail. So you take one of your bees and you jump on the snail, and you can just ride him, and he moves really slowly across the bottom of the screen. And once you ride the snail all the way over to your side of the screen, then you can win that way. And it's it's a pretty neat game. The Switch version is going to be just 4v4, and it'll include online play. So if you're not able to bring over 7 other people to your house, you can still do those online battles and have a good time. But yeah, this is kind of one that's flying under the radar, but I feel like it's going to have pretty strong following because in all the barcades that I've seen, the arcade version of this game always has like a ridiculously long line. Anybody here have some experience with that game at all, or heard of it? At least.
I've heard of it. I first got into the game when the Twitter account followed me. The official Twitter account just followed me, so I was like, oh, I've heard of this before. So I looked into it. I definitely think it's not my type of game personally. But I think it's really interesting and really cool mechanically, and I think it's a really cool get for the Switch because
Absolutely.
it is popular, and so I'm really excited to see how being being brought home in the Switch, how that's gonna really, I feel like it's gonna make it even more popular because it is such a popular game already in these type of party settings. So I want to see now they can bring it home and have it at your own party. I'm sure that'll make it a lot give it a lot more popularity.
Yeah, the other big thing too with it being on the Switch is that the Joy-Cons work so well with this game because it has very simple controls. Being an arcade game, it's just the stick and 2 buttons. So it's lends itself perfectly to the Joy-Con. It's also coming to PC, which I could see it being big there as well. But definitely, if any other indie games are a sign of trend, it'll definitely or most likely sell best on Switch, many others.
I think PC is definitely going to be have a big online presence because it really is. I mean, it's kind of hard to play local multiplayer on a PC.
Right.
So I think a big part of that game is playing it with your friends. So I think the Switch is where it's going to really shine.
Absolutely. Okay. And Aiden, what do you got for number 3?
Mine is Mortal Kombat 11, which, I mean, when they first the announcement of that whole game at the Game Awards was kind of amazing. I watched it. I was like, oh my, can they show this thing? Can they show this on a major broadcast? Not major broadcast, but can they just show this? And the fact that they announced it's just coming to Switch, no big deal. It's just on Switch, which is which means it's coming day and date with Doom Eternal. It's coming with all those things, and It's coming soon. It's coming in April, and it's just really cool to see Mortal Kombat, the newest Mortal Kombat, just on the Switch. Like not a game you'd ever expect to see on a Nintendo platform. Like we got
Right.
those weird spin-offs like throughout the years, but just a core like violent, gruesome Mortal Kombat game, and it really is like the first of the major fighting franchises to get on the Switch. I mean, we have the Street Fighter, we don't have like that's just like a re-release, so it is cool to see like. I don't think it's going to be the best place to play it because with Mortal Kombat and those fighting games, like a lot of it, like button input and combos is such a big thing. So
Mhm.
I mean, unless you have a pro controller, but I'm just it's just cool to see that it's on there, and just like you said, even if it's not the best place to play, just the fact that these third parties want to put their games on the Switch and treat it the same as any other console release is pretty awesome.
Yeah, for sure. And the interesting thing with the Switch is that it has support for USB controllers. So I'm sure you could get a fighting stick. I haven't looked into it, but I'm sure there are fighting sticks out there that work with the Switch.
Yeah, even the GameCube controller probably if that's like if that'll be enabled, that could probably be, because I know people like that could be really interesting.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Right. So, what do you got for number 3, Johnny?
I have Luigi's Mansion 3. I haven't ever really played Luigi's Mansion in the past. I have it on GameCube, and I have it sitting over there. I just haven't really played it. So I know a lot of people love the games, so I'm excited for a new Luigi game. My guess would be it probably comes out sometime in October, right before Halloween would make the most sense. Yeah, excited to see more of it. Kind of hope that they don't bring back that cooperative like green Luigi guy from the DS.
Gooigi.
They're going to.
That was it.
You know it.
Gooigi skin for Smash Ultimate. Make it happen. Change.org.
Yeah. Otherwise, I mean, Luigi's Mansion 3. I mean, it. From the very little we've seen of it, looks really good.
Yeah,
Luigi's
absolutely.
Mansion always seemed like such a like under the radar franchise that it is. It is cool to see, like, I mean, obviously it's popular, but like you don't see it talked about as like you do a Mario or Zelda. So like I'm really excited, like, just like that they keep making games for it and like they keep supporting it.
I have some bad news, people. It looks like
Mike's
we've
dead.
lost Mike, and now all of our heads are cut in half.
I was like, this is
Good.
just the overlay.
Good.
Rest in
Yeah,
peace,
I mean-
overlay.
Have you guys ever played Luigi's Mansion in the past?
Yes,
Yeah.
Yes,
You enjoy
yes.
it?
I do. I really think it's really good. It's unlike any other Nintendo game out there because like just by mechanics alone, and it's just such a cool setting. And Luigi is such a like he's a cool. He's not he's obviously not like such a well-rounded character, but
Right.
like just him like there's just small details like him just like nervously like humming along to the music and like he like nervously hums along to the music in the room, and then like once all the ghosts are cleared, like he becomes like much more happy and joyful about it. So it's
Yeah.
like, and it's like I said, it's a unique mechanically it's a unique game that's like that really there's nothing like it. So I'm just glad to see it continue. Like I think with the Switch is going to give an even higher profile, so I'm excited to see what they do with it on the Switch.
Yeah, I've never played a Luigi's Mansion game before, but watching the speed run of the original game at AGDQ definitely kind of got me a little more excited for Luigi's Mansion 3. But yeah, I think that I probably won't end up picking it on GameCube anytime, or
Oh,
or playing the 3DS game.
On Switch.
Oh no. Now I'll probably just wait until Luigi's Mansion 3, since like you were saying, he's not really super fleshed out. It's not like I'm gonna miss out on anything by not playing the other games, except just the experience of enjoying the game.
Mario's in a painting. Luigi's scared. He goes and finds him, saves him. There you go.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nice. So
Mike, are you
Mike,
alive?
come back.
Mike. Oh no.
Let's
Mike's
see.
dead.
He
I
is
was like, can you hear us?
muted. It looks like it says his headphones are muted.
Should
I don't know. Probably. Probably
Well.
just skip them and go through your next
So
one.
number 2. All right. I have got. This one is kind of hard for me just because I love the Metroid series. Not putting Metroid Prime 4 number 1 is, I don't know. Maybe I should put it at 1, but
I mean, do we know it's coming out in 2019?
Yeah, we don't know if it's coming out this year.
that's the biggest reason why it's not at number 1 is just because I don't know if it's actually coming out this year. And we haven't seen anything. Honestly, it maybe shouldn't even be on the list, but
It's fine. It's fine. It's your list.
yeah, that's
It's
true.
your show.
It is?
I know.
Yes.
Surprise.
No, but I loved all the other Prime games before except 3 because I had to play with a Wii remote. And unlike, I don't know what is with people, like, because everyone likes the Wii remote controls. I just hate them. It's terrible.
That's what I say. I thought people liked the Wii, like using the Wii.
Yeah, I don't know. I really liked the pointer aiming controls in Resident Evil 4, but in Metroid Prime, it just doesn't work for me. I feel like I was probably just too used to the GameCube controls.
Okay.
Yeah. How would you feel if they brought Metroid Trilogy remake out and then
I would buy
pushed 4 to next year?
I feel like they have to release
Right?
trilogy at this
Yeah.
point, like because the Switch has such a larger install base that, like, I mean, it's like has such a, and it's a new generation, like it's been like well over a decade since
Yeah.
the Metroid Prime trilogy came out. Can I use this as a springboard to the fact that I've never played a Metroid Prime game?
Oh,
Well,
yeah,
that's what
fine.
I was gonna say. Is I've never touched them either. So seeing seeing the whole trilogy on Switch and
Yeah.
getting a chance to play through them all there would probably get me more excited for Metroid
Oh, yeah, me
Prime
too.
4. Because at the
Mhm.
moment, I've never even really played a Metroid game ever.
Sure.
So there's no reason for me to be excited. I'm happy everyone else is so excited, but
Yeah.
since I've had no experience with them myself,
Yeah,
Mhm.
it's
Yeah,
more like being excited because of the hype around it.
sure. But yeah, John, to answer your question, I would have no problem with them releasing the trilogy this year and then for next year, just because I assume that's what's going to happen anyway, even if they don't release the trilogy. So it would be just nice to go back, even though I still have my GameCube and Wii, or I should say Wii U, since that's what I played it on. And actually have the trilogy on my Wii U. So,
But now you could play it in HD.
well, yeah,
Yeah.
we use. Oh,
and
right.
on the go.
That's right.
Well, the
Yeah.
Wii's not.
So right. Yeah, because they
And you
didn't
can play it
didn't
on the
remaster
go.
it. They just released
Yeah.
the Wii version for the Wii U.
Yeah, I am on the go, so it's
That's
like
true.
double reasons.
And hopefully without pointer controls.
Oh, they'll probably have the like a
They'll work it
gyro.
in.
I'm sure they'll have it in there, but I just hope that it's not the only way to play it.
It'll be
Yes.
like Let's Go, where if you're in handheld, that's the only way to aim.
Oh my god. Yeah, I mean, the Nintendo's kind of downplayed the motion control features of the Switch. Like, besides like Pokemon,
Right.
it really hasn't been that big of a thing. So
Mhm.
that's
Well,
like,
Splatoon a bit, but
Super Mario Party. Super
Okay,
Mario
well-
Party. If
Well,
you ever
that's-
played that, it's
Mario
probably the
Party
best
is always
motion-
just like 100%
Mario Party's it's like,
console
okay.
gimmicks.
Super Mario Party is probably the best motion controls I've ever played
Yeah.
within a game, and that's coming from someone that hates them. So
Yeah.
I just thought of another crazy prediction that, oh, hey, he's back. Looks like he's on the
alive.
phone. Nice.
I have to use my phone, but yeah, I'm back.
All right.
Ooh.
Well, then, in that case, let's go to your number 3 since we missed that.
We're just going all over now.
Heck
All
yeah.
over now.
Yes.
And then we'll jump back to Aiden for his
Yeah.
number 2. So,
Nah, I'm
Mike,
trying
what do you
to
got
figure
for
out my
number
number
3?
one.
Yeah, I have the. I have
Marvel.
yeah,
Oh yeah,
it's superheroes.
Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3 is my third most excited game. When they announced that, the child in me literally squealed. It was probably one of the biggest games of my childhood. I never owned it, but whenever I went over to my dad's house for the weekend, we ran to Blockbuster and rented it. And the first time I got it, I literally sat there. He told me I could have it for one day. so I beat it in one day.
Nice.
And that started a very unhealthy obsession of always beating every game in one day. I did
Oh my
it
god.
with all kinds of games all the time. Redbox, Blockbuster. That was my early poor child gaming experience, was beating games in one day. And
Nice.
a lot of people don't like the art style of it. I like the art style of it. I think it looks like a comic book art style. When I see it, I think comic book, and I like that. That's what Marvel Ultimate Alliance is to me. It is more of a comic book rendition of a superhero game rather than a realistic one like the Batman games or Spider-Man, and I like that.
Sure.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, I've never played an Ultimate Alliance game before, but I'll definitely take a look.
Mm-hmm.
They're fun.
Say, I like
Yeah,
Marvel.
they are fun.
I don't want to say
Everyone
too much
does.
about it because
No reason.
you know.
Well, you're up right now.
No, yeah, because surprise, that's my number 2 pick.
Shh.
Like, I mean, I feel like this is like, there's so many things about this game that are kind of like crazy to me. One, that it's an exclusive to the Switch.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That it's
Big
developed
shot.
by Team Ninja.
Mhm.
The fact that it has X-Men in it, which is like, you don't see like them. I hope there's Fantastic Four in it, but you never know. I mean, and I hope there's more than Wolverine. But the fact that we're getting the Marvel Ultimate in general, a new one, is kind of like, and it's so weird because when those games came out, like Marvel was not what it was now. Like it hasn't like
Right.
taken over the world like it has now. So I think this is going to be a really huge game for the Switch because of that. Like, I mean, we just saw Spider-Man. Like, it's like that, like a monster juggernaut. Like,
Do they
so,
have
like,
a release date on this yet?
No.
I don't believe.
I don't believe so.
2019? It's confirmed.
2019. It is
Right.
stated as
Was
2019.
it spring, or was it just
think.
2019?
I
I
gotta
think
imagine.
it was spring actually. Yeah, I
Yeah.
think it was spring 2019.
Okay.
Yeah. So I mean, so that's just like, I think this is going to be a really huge game for the Switch. I think. Is co-op confirmed for it?
It's got to be, right?
Yeah.
It would
It
be
absolutely
weird
has
for
to
the
be.
game not to have co-op. First of
Yeah,
all, the
it would
Switch
be.
is like the only console right now where if a game comes out on it, you can pretty much guarantee it has co-op. Nintendo
Yeah.
is like out of Microsoft and Sony. Nintendo is still the big pusher of couch
Oh, yeah.
co-op experiences,
And like,
and
yeah.
obviously I love them for that because I love couch co-op.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And it comes with 2 controllers anyway, so like you're
Yeah.
already built
Yeah.
in for it. And I mean, I feel like this in a way is kind of makes up for the fact that whatever Crystal Dynamics is doing, like that's not coming to the Switch. Their
Yeah.
Avengers games, so
The,
like I
the
mean,
Avengers project.
yeah, whatever,
Mhm.
whenever like
Probably.
whatever that thing
Is that coming out anywhere?
Yeah.
And we have, we have.
I'm so looking forward to that game.
Oh, I am too. Like I'm, but like I'm. so
Yeah, it'll be a
excited
good
for
game
that
to come out in
too.
2025.
Yes.
But- No, I think it's getting like
Kingdom
it's
Hearts
kind of
Yeah.
right. Yeah, we've learned. We know we can win.
Mhm.
I haven't.
Well, yeah, this
You
game
will
like
suffer.
it just came out of nowhere, and now it's like it's coming in a few months, and it's just I think this game's gonna be really big for the Switch, and like it's such an awesome, like crazy, like it just kind of shows how the Switch is like kind of like third parties are finally coming back to Nintendo with the Switch, because I think
Mhm.
it's published by Nintendo too, so which is kind of weird and wild.
If it is, that really guarantees that it's
Yeah,
fully an exclusive, not just a launch
Yeah.
exclusive.
and like
Right.
I hope we get the other 2 Marvel Alliance Ultimate Alliance games, but there's been weird licensing issues, like and weird. They were just like
That makes
taken to
sense.
stores, so like I think they're
I do wish with it that since the first game was rumored to have Link and Samus as playable characters in Marvel Ultimate Alliance when it was rumored for a Nintendo platform. So even if we don't get the first 2, if they incorporate that into the third one, I would also be very
That would
excited for
be-
that.
You got me really excited right now.
Finally.
I'm
Yeah,
So-
killed
play
with
this-
this.
no.
You got Spider-Man, you got Link, you got Samus, and you got like
Yeah.
Iron Man. You got like
They
you
go
got 'em
together
all. They're all
perfectly.
right there. Yeah.
Finally,
exactly.
the classic matchup of
I feel like-
Thanos and Link.
What if they just had like, what I had never played the second Marvel Ultimate Alliance, but what if like in the first one you could like set up people and it would give you different bonuses and like announce
Yeah.
who it was, like Fantastic Four and everything. What if they had like 4 Nintendo characters? You had like Link, Samus, Mario, Star Fox. Like that'd be awesome.
That would be amazing.
Oh,
And I mean, we saw how well the Fox exclusive content did on Starlink. Like that, Nintendo was again the biggest platform for Starlink because of the
Mhm.
Fox content, even though it was literally like less than an hour worth of new content. it still sold incredibly well.
Hey, Aiden, I think we lost your volume there, your audio again.
Okay.
All right, there we go.
Yeah. I feel weird saying this both as a Smash Brothers fan and a Kingdom Hearts fan, but like the fact, like just the picture of like Link and Iron Man just fighting together just weirds me out for some reason.
Right?
I
And I'm
want
just
it.
like, what is this? But like, I think it would be. I mean, why not? It's not like they have anything to lose really. It's gonna the only place
Right.
you can play it is on this thing. So yeah, I just think I'm really excited for this game, and I hope it's good.
And then this is
Me too.
obviously going to be a tie-in to get Thanos into Smash.
I just remembered it. Avengers comes out in April, so I feel
Mhm.
like they've got to tie it around that because
Yeah.
like
Mhm.
It's
Most
gotta
likely
be
it would be
Absolutely.
perfect time for it.
yeah, so like this game's gonna sell. Oh,
We'll see. And let's see. So everyone has
still gotta
Marvel Ultimate
Hold on,
Alliance.
hold on. I'm gonna
didn't
change it
even
up right
see it.
here. I'm gonna change it up here. You guys have been talking about Marvel Ultimate Alliance, so I'm what,
Okay.
I'm gonna change it up here.
Alright.
My number 2 pick is Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3.
Ah.
I mean, like they said, it was a complete surprise that it was announced at the Game Awards. I didn't see it coming
Right.
when like a good halfway into the trailer. I didn't even realize it was Ultimate Alliance
No.
3. It looks so much because they did it so weird. Where they like start with the Guardians of the Galaxy, and with the graphics,
Yeah.
it looks so much like the Guardians of the Galaxy Telltale game.
I thought they were bringing
Yeah.
that to Switch, and I was
Which
like,
was so
okay.
confusing to me. I'm like, Telltale's out of business.
Maybe
How
that
are
was
they
the point.
doing this?
That was
And then-
supposed to throw you off.
It did. It threw me off so much. And then you get like Captain America doing his shield slam in there. I'm like, what am I watching right now? And then I saw more and more. I'm like, is this Ultimate Alliance? Oh my god, it's Ultimate Alliance. Which after, like Aiden said, after the 1 and 2 remasters just being randomly taken off the store, I was like, oh, there's no way we're ever getting an Ultimate Alliance 3. There's just no way. Complete surprise to me. I'm very excited. I only played the first one. It was actually my first 360 game, and I just loved it. I played so much of it. And I was like really looking forward to getting the remaster, and then they just randomly took it down. So, but now this is here, so I'm like, okay, I'm excited
Woo.
for that.
Nice. All right, enough Marvel Ultimate Alliance.
Whatever.
No, I'm looking forward to it. It's not one of my most exciting games of 2019, but hey,
You're like, who cares?
that looks fun.
Well, us three care. Okay.
I'm looking
Yeah.
forward to Endgame, so.
We're,
I mean,
we're,
aren't we
throwing,
all?
we're throwing you out. Who cares if you're the host?
You're gone.
Yeah, we're overthrowing.
I'll
Welcome
meet you
to
guys.
The new Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3 podcast, where we talk about only Marvel Ultimate Alliance.
All
We
right,
play
I
all the
see how
games
it
we
is.
talk about. We find like illegal copies of the game because we play it.
Yeah.
All right, Mike. So what do you got for your number 2?
Marvel Ultimate
My
Alliance
number
3.
2. Yes, I
Mike,
have
you
it
sound
again.
different.
Surprise.
Yeah.
No, I got Metroid Prime 4. I've never really played any of the 3D Metroid games. I've played some of Prime and some of Prime 2, but the second I saw that, the second I was playing it, and the camera control was the same as the moving control, I kind of decided that I didn't care for it that much. It's kind of blasphemous for a lot of people, you know. Metroid Prime is really loved, but the camera stick and the movement stick should not be the same stick. That is the hill I die on. So if Metroid Prime 4 doesn't have it like that, then you know I'll love it a lot. But I've also been meaning to give the games another try anyway, since it's been a few years since I played it and didn't like that feature. So maybe it'll be better this time. Who knows? Anyway, Samus is awesome. I love all of the 2D Metroid games, so I'm gonna buy it regardless because it's a Nintendo, you know, first-party title. It doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
We kind of talked about this while you were dead, because Omar brought it up on
Rip.
his list. How would you feel if they brought out a remake of the trilogy and then pushed 4 into next year?
I would be fine with that if the remaster included the camera stick and the movement stick not
Yeah.
being the same stick.
Okay.
I would be perfectly okay with that, or at least just give me the option. let people play it that way, but give me specifically the option to remap that to the other stick. The Switch has 2 perfectly fine sticks. I got the Pro controller. Give me the option. I just want options, man. That's all I want. That's all I want. Options.
Fair enough.
Sure. That makes sense. Yeah, since I played Prime from the beginning, and that's really what I was used to, just everything being mapped to one stick.
Yeah, that's not what I was used to.
Got used to it. It was fine. I never really was big into shooters at all before I started playing Metroid Prime, the original. So it's not like it was something that I was used
probably
to.
My most influential game to me as a gamer was probably the Halo series. That was, I was like 4 when it came out, 3 or 4 when the first one came out, and my dad told me I couldn't play it. So when he went to sleep, I just went out in the living room and played it. And I've played every single one since. Probably have like 10,000 hours across every Halo game. Like obsessed with the series.
Important question.
Traditional shooters are important.
When you played that first Halo game, did you beat the whole thing in one day?
Did I beat it? The first? No.
All in one day.
I did not. I don't think when I originally played because I originally played the first two on the original Xbox. I don't think when I was a kid I ever the first time I played them, I don't think I ever actually beat either of them. I just screwed around in the first few levels and had fun, or multiplayer. I would just have a second controller on local multiplayer, and it would just stand there, and I'd just run around and kill it in different ways. Like that was my Saturday mornings, was killing myself on Halo.
There you go.
All right.
So now we're getting to number ones on the list, and my number one for 2019 is Animal Crossing. We've already covered this a bit. As far as graphics go, there's not much they can do. They can do things like maybe make the trees blow in the wind and make your hair actually move around.
Particles.
But
get the tress effects in there.
Yeah, exactly. Or Hairworks, since you got a Tegra chip in there from NVIDIA. So, but yeah, there's some just little minor graphical things that you can do here and there. Maybe make the water look a little more realistic. But otherwise, there's not too much that can be done with Animal Crossing as far as graphics go. It's going to have to be more different types of game modes or different types of things like go to space. Who knows?
Colonize the moon.
Dig to the center of the earth. Find the lizard people. Who knows?
They're already living in Animal Crossing, the lizard people.
Yeah, they take over. It's a post-apocalyptic, post-human world. The reptilians took over. Good stuff.
This is the true Fallout 76.
Yeah.
Welcome.
Yeah.
Start out Animal Crossing coming out of the vault. Who knows? But yeah, it's gonna be a game that I'll sink hundreds of hours into and lock myself indoors, skip work, actually quit work altogether. Never talk to anyone again. I'm gonna forget to eat
until the next Animal Crossing game is announced.
No. This is the end. I'm gonna
He's
forget.
going all or nothing on this.
I'm gonna forget how to eat food and drink water, and I'm gonna die. I'm sorry.
He's gonna be sitting there
You're
licking the
gonna
screen, trying to get the
biologically
water.
hook yourself up to your Switch.
He's gonna be
to
licking
only
his
sustenance.
screen,
You know, on
trying to
the
get that more realistic water.
on the box, on the back of the box for New Leaf, it said "Welcome to your new life." So I will take that literally. And
All right.
it was nice to know you guys. All right.
Goodbye.
On that note,
What do you got?
is it my turn?
Go ahead.
Mine is the currently literally game we know nothing about except that it's coming. But whatever the 8th generation of Pokemon is, I'm excited because I like Let's Go, but obviously that wasn't what the majority of the fan base was looking for. But there was that silver lining that we knew that new generation of core Pokemon game is coming. So they said core Pokemon game, so that's just 8th generation. The big question is for me is if this is gonna be what kind of direction are they gonna go in this game? Is it gonna be kind of more of the same like we've seen in Sun and Moon? Because I don't think Pokemon's there is a franchise that's ever gonna like push itself, like completely reinvent itself. Like we've seen it, kind of change up the formula, but like the formula is the same. It's not like so. But I'm excited to see like presentation wise too. Like, it's never gonna like, are they gonna be in line with what we've seen with Let's Go and like with X and Y, or are they gonna like completely change like the art direction? Like I said, it's hard to talk about a game that we know very like and nothing about, but I just like Pokemon's one of my favorite franchises of all time. I absolutely adore the game, every game in the series. I played every game in the series, so and this technically is the first mainline. I mean, if you don't count Let's Go, like which you may or may not,
Which you
it's the
shouldn't.
first mainline Pokemon Let's Go that's going to be on a home console. So that's just going to be really crazy to think about. And I mean, that's going to be like, that is obviously Nintendo's big game of 2019. So I'm just excited to see like what the Switch, like what if they're gonna take this game in, like what kind of direction they're gonna take this franchise in on the Switch.
If they're gonna adapt to the stronger console compared to the DS and actually do something with it, or if they're gonna just kind of keep it in line with where it's been handheld wise.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, one of the comparisons that I always hear, they're like, "Oh, well, is it going to be like the Breath of the Wild for Pokemon?" And I feel like when people are saying that, they don't necessarily mean like a huge open world, but maybe just like a breaking of conventions more so.
I wouldn't mind if they kept out the wild or the random encounters.
Yes.
Like that, I did like that edition of Let's Go where
them.
you were able to see the Pokemon. That was honestly the main reason why I love Let's Go so much, just because just like turn-based combat in general after a while gets really repetitive and really old. And in Pokemon, that is really true, with having to grind hours and hours and hours of random battles in order to level up your Pokemon to go to the next gym.
And it's nice.
So I liked that.
It's nice to be able to also then string together encounters so you can gain more experience based upon how many of the same species you encounter in a row.
Show up.
Yep. All that good stuff. Better IVs instead of having to breed and hope that you get one with that RNG gods are on your side.
I did like, I liked some of the changes that they did with Let's Go, like more like streamlining things, like seeing Pokemon in the wild and like how you can like kind of pick what nature a Pokemon you're gonna see. I mean, that's later in the game, but you can kind of choose a nature of wild Pokemon. So like that stuff I want them to see integrated, and I think they will, because they are such like massive quality of life improvements. I just don't I really don't want them to include the catching mechanics, because if they do, they need to really fix that, because it was not good a lot of the times.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind it if they improved on it, and like depending on the Pokemon's personality, like if it was a really aggressive Pokemon, then you actually had to battle it to catch it. But if it's really timid, then you were able to actually just catch it without having to battle it. Like, since they have the different, personality types for the Pokemon, that would be another layer of depth that they could add to the catching system that would make things kind of unique.
Right, absolutely. I was also thinking of I mentioned this last week, but with the legendary battles, I liked what they did in Let's Go, where it's a timed battle, and it essentially makes it like a boss battle instead of just like any other Pokemon encounter. It actually adds something that was maybe not not necessarily missing from legendary battles, but it definitely improves them. It makes it just a better overall experience. But yeah. John, what do you got to say about the Pokemon?
My number one is also Pokemon. I mean, Aiden pretty much covered it all. We don't know anything about it. I also would love them to bring back the Pokemon you see in the wild from Let's Go. I talked about that last week on this show. I think it would be really cool if they kind of blended the catching style with the older style. Like you have to damage it, weaken it, and then you do the motion controls to try and catch it. That would be really cool. But yeah, I don't want the whole Pokemon Go aspect of just tossing a ball at it and hoping I catch it. Right. Just having your whole thing on a timer just doesn't feel traditional Pokemon enough to me. that being said, I mean, as long as they bring that back, also, I want them to tweak the cooperative a little bit. The Let's Go really just, if you did cooperative, it just broke the game, made it way too
Yeah.
easy. So I'd
Yeah.
like them to tweak that, make it better. Otherwise, I mean, new Pokemon, everyone's gonna be hyped for it. I'm gonna be hyped
It's gonna
for
sell
it.
well.
It's
Yeah.
first mainline Pokemon game on a home console, let alone the Switch, which is the most popular console right now. So I'm just excited to actually see more of it.
Mhm.
Really hope that this next direct, whenever it is, we get to actually see our first footage of it.
Yeah, it might be a little too early, but
I think
to be fair, actually, I am remembering now. It was either X and Y or Black and White that was revealed in a January direct. And they had gameplay, they had new Pokemon revealed in that direct. Going back to talking about the controls, I feel like if they added touchscreen controls, that would be a nice little addition, just because
Yeah, with having
Yeah.
the catch mechanic they have, I'm surprised they didn't just fully implement the swiping mechanic that
Yeah, that would be really cool.
Pokemon Go have. Because if you were playing handheld, like having to turn your Switch in order to like aim at a jumping Pokemon was kind of a drag.
yeah.
Like if you're in a car, it kind of makes it unplayable because you're bouncing around and your screen's just bouncing around. Like the swiping would have been nice to have.
Mhm.
For sure.
I don't think we're gonna hear about it quite yet.
No.
As we like,
I don't think so either.
Game Freak and like Pokemon Company, like they tend to have their own Pokemon focus directs. Like Pokemon doesn't tend to be a part
Right.
of the Nintendo Direct, so I think they're gonna they want the conversation to themselves.
Mhm.
So
And
they're gonna just I think we're gonna like sometime like in the like spring, I think we're probably gonna get like a reveal of like what the games are, like the starter
But
Pokemon.
like
just
maybe
the
a little
basic
before
information.
E3.
Mhm.
Yeah, because like Pokemon usually doesn't go to E3. Like they do go to E3, but they're like not a huge E3 presence. So I think they're gonna like sometime like maybe April or May, we're gonna see the full reveal, and then like
And then we
we're
might
just
see a
gonna
little
get-
more about Town too.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, I keep forgetting. Oh, I forgot they have Town coming out.
They have Town, yeah.
Was that this year, or did they give a year for
It's
that?
this year.
2019,
It's
yep.
this year. Yeah. So
Mm.
yeah. They,
Game Freak's
Two
gonna have a
games
big
coming out.
year.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
hopefully.
Uh,
But yeah, a lot of Pokemon stuff going on. But Mike, what do you got for your number one?
I'm the only person here that did not have Pokemon anywhere on their list. I've got my
Boo.
number one is Luigi's Mansion 3. I'm a really big fan of Luigi's Mansion. I actually just wrote up a review of the original Luigi's Mansion for the GameCube this week.
Nice.
In anticipation of 3 and getting to talk about 3 here. I don't know. It's a fun game. It's a unique game. I've never played a game since then that has combat like Luigi's Mansion. You gotta vacuum and you suck people up, and
Yes.
it's not very complicated. There's nothing really special about it. You're just a cowardly Luigi who's walking around places that scare him horribly, trying to suck up ghosts that scare you. And for once, and it's very emphasized, especially in the first game, that you are finally the hero. And it shows that you're a wuss the entire time. You go to open a door and you're just like, and it's just, I love it. They could do anything with Luigi's Mansion. They could be like, here's Luigi's Mansion Go, and I'd be like, I'm cashing ghosts on my phone app now. Let's go. Like,
They already have that with Ghostbusters. Ghostbusters World.
oh god, I forgot about that. But it's not Luigi, so I don't care. Plus, I was a younger sibling, so my sister always played as Mario, and I had to play as Luigi. So I have a
I
little
know how that goes.
bias towards Luigi. He has a very special place in my heart.
Nice.
All right.
Okay, now that we're done with the lists, each of us have a fun little crazy predictions. So not related to anything that we really know existing right now currently, but this one's definitely way out there, and I really don't think is going to happen ever for any console. But it would be awesome if it did, and that's Mega Man Legends 3 coming exclusively to the Switch. I remember when it was in production for 3DS, and then it was just nowhere for a long time, and then it ended up being canceled. And it's not been anywhere, and everyone's so sad. But it would be just great for a new Mega Man game to actually come out to really any console.
Just got a new Mega Man game.
Sort of.
Yeah, it was like it took me like 4 hours to beat it.
Yeah, that hardly
I more. I
counts.
crave more.
I mean, I should say something that's not just like a side scroller, almost kind of like essentially a cash in on just nostalgia, which I mean, I guess you could kind
That's
of
pretty
say
much
the
what
Legend
11 was.
series is, but
No, that's like exactly 11. It feels like a 90s Mega Man game. It just has nice, pretty modern art to it that makes it look real good.
I mean, that's just Mega Man in general.
I know. I was
like, that's
He
kinda
hasn't
Mega
really changed much since the beginning.
yeah, because the Legends games actually like changed stuff up. It was just like a third-person action game, and yeah, that's something that we need right now with Mega Man. I feel like
All right.
It's
All right.
nice to dream.
it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, Capcom's been on a roll mostly lately, so
I know, yeah.
yeah, mostly. You know, they had the whole Street Fighter 5 controversy and
They're
stuff.
past
but,
that, I feel like.
Yeah.
They
came-
they
mostly.
They got
canceled
Monster
it.
Hunter. They got Monster Hunter. They got Mega Man 11, Resident Evil 2, Devil May Cry. They're maybe
They're on a good streak.
Oh,
right
yeah.
yeah, maybe this will
They're on a good
culminate
street.
in Mega Man Legends 3.
They've got Ken in Smash Bros.
And
Yeah.
Ryu.
and Mega Man.
Oh,
All
yeah.
the Mega Men.
I know, and Rathalos.
Yeah. The only Mega Man they don't have is box art Mega Man, which is unfortunate.
Yeah.
There isn't just a tubby dude with a pistol. But yeah, all right. Now we've got Aiden's crazy prediction for 2019.
I feel like mine's not too in so much in the realm of crazy, but I said a top-down Zelda is gonna get announced and released in 2019. It's been about 2 years. No, I don't know why. It's been 2 years since Breath of the Wild. And obviously the next huge big 3D Zelda's a little whiles away, unless they like do a Majora's Mask and just kind of put in the same engine, just kind of like really work on it quickly. But obviously it's not going to be the only Zelda game we see on the Switch. It's such a huge name for Nintendo, huge brand for Nintendo. And A Link Between Worlds was such a success for them, like critically and commercially.
Absolutely.
I definitely
I love it.
makes sense to see that style, a game in that style, or maybe like another like Triforce Hero game. Because you start when you like had the big 3D Zelda so early in the Switch's life cycle, it's gonna be a while before we see it. So I think this is gonna be a nice way to get a Zelda game, another Zelda game on the Switch, because they're gonna put more Zelda games on the Switch. And I don't think, and this is such the top-down Zelda series, Zelda games have been such a they've had such success with them, and it's that's what the series started with. So I think we're gonna see one in 2019, whether it be like a direct sequel to Link Between Worlds or just like a spin-off game. That's up for debate, but I think we're going to get that in this year.
All
As
right.
long as it's
Yeah.
for the Switch, not the 3DS.
Well, yes, I yes.
It's an important
They
distinction.
keep pulling these 3DS exclusives for games I want. I'm gonna be upset. I
It's
already
gonna
lost out on
be-
WarioWare.
Skyward
This is for
Sword for 3DS.
Oh my god, that should have been mine. Right, Skyward Sword.
3DS can have that.
Yeah, they
would-
can.
It's
I
a
mean,
good
it would
game.
probably-
It's better than Twilight Princess.
I'm gonna pretend I didn't just hear that.
It would work. It would work on the Switch. I'm just gonna. I like Skyward.
Just give me the option to turn options. Just give me the option to turn off motion controls. Just give me the option. I just want the option.
The thing
Let
is
other
with
people
that
have it.
game,
Give me the option.
you'd have to fundamentally change that game to make it
That's
work. to
fine.
make it work
Fundamentally
with that
change
mode.
it just for me. Fundamentally change it. You can have it in the option sections. Mike Zokes Controls. There we go. That's it. That's all you need. I'll buy 100 copies. Let's go.
Oh, in that case.
Oh my.
In that case, that's quite a bit of money.
Yeah.
I'll find it.
All right. Okay, now we're on to John. What do you got?
All right. My prediction is kind of like Aiden's. Kind of not. So I think that we are getting either a new Zelda or Mario game announced this year. I don't think it will release this year, and I'm not talking about like a port, because I still think Super Mario Maker is coming. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about a completely new game. If it's a Zelda
Super
game,
Mario Sunshine 2.
yes. If it's a Zelda game, I agree with Aiden. I think it's a top-down game. I mean, that's how Zelda made its big breakout and everything. I can't ever see them completely going away from that.
No.
They could do a Majora's Mask and just remake Breath of the Wild in a different setting and everything. That would be cool. I'd be happy with that. Breath of the Wild's one of my favorite games ever. I just don't see it. I think they would really like to go back towards something like a Four Swords adventure kind of like game, or just a straight top-down.
And that would,
They
Link
just
to the
really
Past
like
kind of
playing
game.
on nostalgia, and it's a really
Yeah.
good way to play on nostalgia.
and it would really make sense if like each person had a Joy-Con and they could play as a different colored Link. It works great on the Switch.
Yeah.
Bring
So-
purple Link back.
Yeah, so if it's a Zelda game, I definitely see that coming. If it's a Mario game, though, I kind of see the opposite. I would think it would be a Mario Odyssey 2, just really made quickly. They did that with Mario Galaxy. They just
Right.
chucked
And then
2
we
out
had
really
the-
quick.
We just had New Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe release, which is more of a traditional Mario.
Yeah.
So
Hmm.
they don't need something to segue into the next one.
Yeah, so if any of that is announced, or if they just want to bring out DLC for Mario Odyssey, I'd be down with that too.
I think that ship
Yeah.
sailed.
Yeah, me too.
Ah.
Besides,
But if
like,
they
a
want to,
monster.
that'd be cool.
I was thinking of the Odyssey when you said that. All right, and on that note, let's move on to Mike's crazy prediction.
My crazy prediction, I think, is a little out there just because the series hasn't done very well in the modern times, but I think we are either going to just get an announcement for it, or we're actually going to see it released at some point this year, and that's a new Star Fox game. We saw them partner up with Ubisoft with Starlink, and I think that was them kind of testing the market for a new Star Fox game. And like I mentioned a little bit earlier, Starlink sold incredibly well on the Switch compared to the other platforms. I think I read an article a few months, like a month after it came out, that it sold 8 times better in Europe on the Switch compared to Xbox and Sony put together. So I think with how huge of a selling point Fox was for that game, and just how well like every single Nintendo exclusive title has sold so far on the Switch, that there's definitely a possibility that Nintendo themselves are now working on a new Star Fox game, and I hope that it isn't completely like Starlink and that it's only space battles. I really like the actual action ground parts of like Adventures and Assault, where you're actually Fox and on the ground and you're kicking butt. I like that. Again, if you couldn't tell by everything I've said, I really love the GameCube. I grew up with the GameCube. Everything. Luigi's Mansion, Super Mario Sunshine, all these, Wind Waker, all these things I mentioned are GameCube. Just make it. Yeah, just do that.
So, Mike, how would you feel if the new Star Fox game was a racing game?
I did not hear that.
Yeah,
I'm sorry,
you
you
cut
cut
out
out.
there, Omar.
Oh, okay. Mike, how would you feel if the new Star Fox game is actually a racing game?
If it's a racing game,
Oh yeah, I was gonna
I
actually ask
wouldn't-
about that too.
I would be disappointed. I would still buy it, and I would still play it a lot. But the whole time, I would be thinking in the back of my head, why isn't this an actual Star Fox game? This could just be F-Zero. That would be what I'd be thinking the entire time. I was like, you have a racing franchise. There's a lot of people out there very vocal about wanting this franchise back, and you're gonna take Star Fox, and I know Nintendo, and I know it's something they'll do. and that scares
Well,
me.
no, they won't.
What
they
if
won't
you're
make a
racing
F-Zero
R-Wings?
game.
Huh?
Oh, Nintendo can't make a new F-Zero game. They won't. So
They
have to
won't.
be
I know they
Star Fox.
won't. But I mean, I know that. I know because they won't. Just like they won't make New Mother. That means every other series is at risk of being transformed into that series, because I don't understand Nintendo's logic with it. I'm not gonna try to pretend to understand it. All I know is it happens.
Well, you have seen the rumors for that, right?
Yes,
For
I
the
have.
Star
Yeah,
Fox
no,
racing
I've seen,
game,
I've seen the rumors.
That'll be like Diddy Kong Racing, where it like
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
choose the different things.
exactly.
Sounds awesome.
Another example.
Star Fox Cup. Was that the rumored name?
Star Fox
Cup?
Grand Prix.
Grand Prix.
Yeah, that was it.
I don't know. Do we still think that's a thing? Because like wasn't that supposed rumored like
Um,
3D? Wasn't that, like,
Supposedly,
I don't
Retro
think it
was
actually
working
rumored
on
to
it.
be announced or anything. I think it was just rumored to be in the
a
making.
thing?
Well, the thing is,
It was- I
it's
saw it on a
supposedly
list.
supposed to be coming from Retro Studios, and we haven't heard anything about what they're working on yet. So that's really the only reason why you still kind of believe it. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
It would just
All
be
we
weird.
know is that it's not Metroid Prime 4 that they're working
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. The fact that they
well,
took-
we don't know who's working on Prime 4 yet for sure
on.
either.
But they've
I don't
said
wanna,
it's
like-
not retro.
Yeah.
Sure.
I don't want to diminish a racing game. It just seems like the fact that they'd be so long, working this long, and be so quiet on a racing game would be kind of weird.
Yeah,
It would be kind of weird.
that would be.
That would be very weird. Racing, yeah, it'd be weird.
It's very
But yeah,
secret.
I
just
mean,
give
who
me more
knows?
Star Fox. Just give me it. I want
I mean-
it. I pay a lot of money for it. I buy merch. I do everything. Just
Buy
give me it.
100 copies.
Go for it.
I'll
Do
buy
it.
You would
200
buy
copies.
Star Fox Zero again on the Wii U.
Yeah.
Well, in
I
that
never
case,
got
if
to
it's
play Star Fox
200,
Zero. I never had a Wii U, so even
Well,
if they just ported
And you
Zero
call
and
yourself
Guard,
a
I'd
Star
be fine.
Fox fan.
That's why we got. That's why we're doing
Technically,
Star Fox
not playing it from what I've heard makes me a fan because
it's
I've
gonna
heard
be
that
Zero
most fans
HD.
should skip it.
Yeah, that's why we're getting a racing game because you didn't buy a Star Fox.
Yeah,
Zero.
Star Fox Zero was
Not good.
sad.
James
I'd
McLeod
rather
is
have a
looking
racing
down
game
on
than
you
have
from
another
heaven.
Zero. Just give me a good Star Fox game. Let me clarify, a good Star Fox game.
Sure.
Bring
There.
Assault back. That was the only one I liked.
Oh gosh, what was the one that was like Five Nights at Freddy's that you got with
What?
Zero? Star Fox Guard, that's what it was.
Yeah,
What?
Guard.
Yeah.
It was a tower
I never
defense
played
game.
Oh, okay, yeah. I thought it was a
It
Star
was
Fox.
it was actually highly rated. It was more. It was
Yeah.
high. It was better rated than Guard was.
I-
I haven't played Guard. But
I
keep
got
up.
Zero. I got Zero, and it came with Guard,
Yeah.
and I never took the plastic off of Guard. And I only played Zero. Yeah, I
He's
know.
really waiting for the
Well, that was
value
a
on that to go
mistake.
up.
Yeah, no, I already sold it. Oh man, yeah,
for
I
like
probably
$5?
should have played it. Yeah, who knows? Wasn't interested in playing it. Didn't seem like the kind of game for me. Yeah, that has done it for our list of 2019 games that we know of and what we hope is coming for the year of 2019. So we're just gonna see if our friends here have some parting words. Mike?
Just listen to my demands. I had a lot of demands in this podcast. Nintendo, I know you're listening, and just listen to them. And nothing. I'll continue to buy your products.
Well, be
Uh,
careful, because
I
this
wouldn't buy them anyway, but
podcast
my
is a
money's worth
legally
a lot.
binding contract. So
I am making my own demand right now, Nintendo. I need all of the 3D Zelda games on the Switch in one package, like on the GameCube.
why
just
would
need
you
them
stop there?
I
Oh.
need
Give us
all of
the
them.
Zelda games.
All of the Zelda
All
games.
the Zelda games.
Every single
the
one.
games, the CDI games, all of them. On the Switch, 2019, it's happening. You heard it.
Whoa, let's go, boys!
They're already on the app.
No,
Two of
I need them again.
We need
All
more
right.
physical cards. I want them.
I want a Switch case with 10 different cartridges in it.
Well, that's just silly.
Only 10?
I mean, to be fair, that they need to make better use of all that space in that case.
Mhm. Thank you for that, guys. What do you got, Aiden?
Well, I have nothing that apparently I'm this passionate about.
Yeah.
I mean, talk about
That's fine.
Yeah, I don't know, like, yeah. that's really it. I'm excited for 2019. I think it's gonna be a good year. We got.
Must be
we're
nice
getting-
being a Nintendo fan who Nintendo listens to all their dreams and aspirations for.
Oh, believe me, they do not. But if they
Mother
did, I
3
would-
when?
Yeah, they.
That's what it
We're
seems
getting. We're getting Pokemon. That's. So
Woo!
Yeah.
yay Pokemon.
If you're a
buy
Pokemon
it.
fan, you have nothing to worry about ever.
No.
All right. So thank you very much for coming on, guys. Where can everyone find you? Start with Mike.
You can. I'm really just on Twitter, so you can find me on Twitter at Mike Zoke. Just my name. That's it. I'm there. I post a lot.
Okay.
All right.
John.
On Twitter, I am at RevXShadows. I don't post a lot there. I don't have a lot of followers, but hey.
Nice.
Otherwise, I have my own YouTube channel. Just search RevXShadows on YouTube. I put up some weekly vids, some previews, reviews, all that good stuff, and that's about it.
Aiden.
I'm also on Twitter at Aiden Simon. If you want to spell that, it's AIDIN SIMONDS. Since there's a lot of ways you can spell that. I'm also on YouTube at Aiden Simons. Right now, it's not Nintendo related at all, but I'm revisiting all the Kingdom Hearts games in anticipation of Kingdom Hearts 3.
Nice.
Just
Ooh,
giving my
boy.
thoughts on them.
How dare
because-
you talk about non-Nintendo stuff on here?
I mean, technically, one of the games I'm playing, two of the games are originally on
Yep.
Nintendo systems, so it all circles
That is
around.
actually a fair point.
So it all circles, and
Do they
we'll
actually
probably
have Dream Drop Distance playable on there, or is it just like
Yes.
the videos? Okay.
no, that one's actually playable.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
The other two, the DS games aren't, but Rechain of Memories is on there, so
Okay. Eh,
it's a mixed bag.
those were the two. Those were the two that I liked the most, anyway.
No one wants to play the DS games.
Yeah.
No, don't even really want to go through the story on them.
No.
All right. So next week, we've got some stuff. We got Travis Strikes Again coming out, and then Piku Niku, very little indie game. It's really weird, but we'll talk about it. And assuming that there's no Nintendo Direct, we'll find some other things to talk about as well. So come back next week, check out the new Podcast Plus, and we'll have a lot of fun and hopefully less yelling, guys. Come on now.
No.
Don't. I mean, it's good because it gives me a little more experience editing in Premiere, so that'll be fun. But yeah, so that's all we have for this week. And thank you very much for coming on the podcast, all of you, and everyone who is watching, all 4 of us that are here currently. Have a great weekend.